What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today, in the review box, we have the Dodge Viper GTS, a brand new casting for 2025 from Hot Wheels. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and see if it is worth adding to your collections. Alright, so let's go ahead and get things started with our casting here. Proportionally speaking, very happy to report that everything looks good. We've been getting a lot of Vipers from Hot Wheels recently, new castings as well. One in premium, and this is now our second mainliner. And we'll go ahead and pop the real-life car for some comparison shots there. And I am happy to report that they have all looked very nice proportionally, which is definitely a big upgrade from some of the older Viper castings. So let's go ahead and break the casting down a little bit here. So almost everything you're going to see here painted blue with the white stripes is going to be a die-cast metal, which is very, very nice. And then you're also obviously going to be on a mainline, going to get a plastic base here. You're going to have these plastic exhaust tips back here, but other than that, that's pretty much the only plastic that's really showing in a neutral kind of stance point. The only other plastic bit that you'll see are kind of these like vents in the hood, which are actually a piece of the window, which is probably not my favorite way that they could have done that. I wish they had extended the interior so that these were black instead of see-through. But, you know, I guess it is what it is. It's not a huge deal at the end of the day. We do get mirrors on this casting, which is always good to see, the little nubs there. Other than that, though, our body lines are all replicated very, very nicely. Everything looks really good. All these extra little grill bits and stuff are all casted in, looking phenomenal. And yeah, really, from a casting standpoint, I think they did a really good job. So for the paint and deco, this is the initial release, the first edition, debuting in H or G case, one of the two, for this year. And we have the nice metallic-y deep blue. It looks really good. And then the white stripes going down. Overall, I think it looks really good. There's no kind of metal flake or anything to that blue. It's just kind of a metallic blue, dark blue. I think it looks really good, and it matches real-life car paint variant pretty nicely. So that's definitely a big win. As of right now, there is no recolor that has been released, but we know that there is a yellow one on the way, and I believe it has black racing stripes. So that is something to look forward to. Moving into our details, it's a Hot Wheels mainline, so we don't really expect a ton, but we do get a Viper logo right up there, which looks good. We get the headlight tampos, which are really done quite nicely. None of this kind of area is tampoed in, but I guess if the casting goes premium, those should get some treatment, but they really, in my personal opinion, they don't really need it. I think it looks just fine the way it is. Coming down to the sides here, good wheel choice. Probably not the best wheel choice, but I think they look fine, and they're not gaudy or anything like that, which is always a win in my book. Coming into the rear here, we actually have a very nice tampo work done with our taillights looking phenomenal. We get a little Viper logo, which looks really good. And then it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't know if it's just extra paint that's kind of seeped into here, but it looks like this has got some black paint on it. It's probably just extra blue paint that's kind of pooled in that spot, but it does create kind of an extra look there, which I really like. But yeah, exhaust again on the base there, kind of poking out. Detailing-wise, not a lot to speak of being a mainline, but overall, I think it was done very nicely, especially at that mainline price point. Moving into our roll test, it being a Hot Wheels mainline, it should be absolutely no surprise that it rolls extremely smooth. I went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it comes out to be 37.33 grams, which makes it a considerable chunk heavier than the typical mainline, which is always a big plus in my book, and also means it might be kind of fast on a track. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The first big pro is going to be that casting. They did a phenomenal job on it. The only little gripe I have with it is the hood. Those vents kind of should have been the interior piece, but whatever. The other big pro is going to be basically a full deco. I mean, we get the stripes on the top. We get full rear tampos. We get full front tampos with the headlights. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get the interior like grill bit things, but that's fine in my opinion. Yeah, really good pros for this one. Moving into the cons, though, when you factor in that $1.25 price point, I really don't think there's any cons with this one. I've seen a lot of like paint variation, I should say. Some of them are painted a little thicker than others, so they come up a little bit darker than others. So that's something to at least look out for, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it a con. Moving into some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other Mattel Vipers that you might have. with the Hot Wheels Viper SRT10, which is the newest Viper casting that we got in premium, and then the old school Matchbox Viper GTS. And here we have it with some other front-engine supercars that you might have from premium brands. This one is the Tarmac Works Dodge Viper ACR Extreme over there on the left. And then over here on the right, we have the Stance Hunters Ferrari F12 TDF. Alrighty then, so with all that out of the way, let's find some overall scores here. Hype level, I'm going to give it a 9.7 out of 10. This one was pretty tricky to find. However, I think G and H case just did not show up in a lot of places, especially around here. The Dollar Tree was about the only place that got G or H case. So, yeah, not a lot of opportunity to find this one. That could have played into that factor. Execution, 9.95 out of 10. The only thing I'm taking off for, as I've mentioned, I want these pieces to have been the interior instead of a window. But yeah, execution is basically perfect in my book. Feedback is going to be a 9.8. I have not really seen anyone with too many complaints other than the variations in paint and how some people's are a lot darker than others and others are kind of like almost missing paint in some spots. Definitely interesting. Might be a result of the type of paint they use to give this kind of a more metallic-y look. It is what it is though. When we take these three scores, average them out, and end up, we will get our 9.82 out of 10 overall score, which I think is a very, very good score for a very, very nice model, because this is a fantastic mainline. Like, execution-wise, this might be my favorite one of the year so far. I think they really did a nice job with it. The casting is absolutely great. The deco was done really, really well. There is another one on the way, which looks just as good. I'm sure we'll have a red one down the line at some point. The mainline price tag really cannot be beat. I mean, it's possible to still find this one for $1 in some stores. So that is definitely well worth the price if you can find it for that. Or even at the $1.25-ish that most stores are charging now after tax. Still definitely worth it. This was the best first choice for the deco. The blue with the white stripes is just such an iconic Viper coloration, especially for this generation of Viper. I'm really glad that they decided to go with that as the first colorway. I think this is an absolutely must-have mainline, honestly. Definitely see if you can find it, because if you do not find it, you're going to miss it. I truly believe that. And with all that having gone over, guys, that will conclude this review. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you are new and have not done that already, and make sure to leave a comment down below telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model, and I will see you guys in the next video.